Gosh, I was just talking to this non-recording laptop for a while. A while. Oh, now I gotta say all that stuff over again. Oh man, what the heck? Alright, so what I was talking about is I decided to check my chart today because while I was out and about doing some errands today, 3 stops, probably a total of 2 hours in public, I had 10 different people at different moments that didn't hear each other or just give me compliments. And I was just here home at the end of my day, chilling out, getting relaxed. And I started to remember that. And I was like, I was like, I got a lot of compliments today. And I counted them out in my head. And I was like, dang. And I was like, how long was I out? And then I counted it out. And I was like, dang, 10 in 2 hours. I mean, I've gotten a few compliments before here and there. But this was, whoa. This is whoa, right? This is like, I can't even, I can't even go very long without a compliment today. And that's weird, right? Like, how often does that happen? To anyone, I would think. You know, it's nice when someone pays you a compliment, perfect stranger, just noticing something beautiful about you, but they don't always, I don't know, I don't get 10. 10? So I was just like thinking, wow, I wonder if there's something in my chart today that made me extra noticeable or something because, like, wow, and extra receptive. And then I started looking at my chart, and I'm not even all the way through it, and I may start again at the top to just share with you what I did see, but I will add this because when the first time I recorded this or didn't record it, I did notice one part of my story that was probably relevant given the energy that I saw in the chart. So I'll just share that before I look at the chart. And that is that this morning when I got up and I got dressed and ready to go, I looked in the mirror and noticed all this inflammation and swelling. I had eaten a bunch of rye bread yesterday. I'm usually eating gluten-free, but it wasn't gluten-free. I just liked it. I just wanted it. And that started the swelling. And then I also got my period. So I bought some sweets today, and then I just ate them when I got home a little while ago. And so that's added to this. But this morning, before leaving the house, I remember like just seeing this part, and I was just like, oh, that's too bad that I have that. Like, because I feel like it detracts from my feeling comfortable with myself quite a bit. But I just said to myself, well, it is what it is, and I still got to go do this day, so let's go do it, right? But I did it feeling a little less beautiful. Like I did not feel like I was looking beautiful. I felt like I was looking unattractive because of this. And so I just thought it was funny that the universe then lined me up with 10 compliments. Like, what? But when I started to look at my chart, that is what showed up, is like I was being challenged on my definition of beauty. So I'll start back up at the top and just quickly recap what I saw in my chart so far, which wasn't much, to be honest. Not much stood out as what could be contributing to the compliments in public, because I looked to my 10th house and my MC, which are the most public parts of the chart, and there really wasn't anything standing out there that felt like it was significant. But I did notice that there was the asteroid that represents me. It's called Julie Melissa, but I use that asteroid for years now, and it corresponds to me in my chart. It's traveling in the sky right now with Pallas Athene. Pallas Athene is the nice balance between masculine and feminine energy. It is a female energy, but it's also very intelligent and able to quickly notice patterns. And those asteroids are transiting, so activating Nemesis in my chart. And Nemesis is something that I studied a while back as when it was active in my chart before. And, I always thought that it represented a person who was like your enemy or against you. And I don't have, anyone that I am against. I understand that, like, whatever about everybody. Like, I hope we all win. And so I don't hold grudges and whatnot. Like, I know to keep my distance from certain people. If they've already, proven to me time and 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 time again, I'll keep my distance. You can only slap me 2,500 times before I put my foot down. Just kidding. It's varied, and I'm not saying that I, deem them terrible people for life or whatever. Anyone can change at any time, but whatever. I don't consider people my nemesis, but when I studied Nemesis, what the mythology showed about Nemesis was that Nemesis would balance justice, bring balance back into a situation and bring justice into a situation. And so it would be like the energy of, if you were if you were harming people and acting terribly, that Nemesis would actually put the person that you were targeting in a position where it would miss them and it would come right back to you, or would later repay you back with your own assault that you aimed for somebody else. Like, just Nemesis is like that. Nemesis is making sure that there's balance. So there's so much about balance here in that, right? Because Pallas Athene is about balance and Nemesis is wanting balance. So there was something about the scales being balanced today in public today for me. So maybe it was just my own. Oh, I didn't get this the first time around talking about it. Maybe it was just my own disrespect in talking about my own looks to myself, by myself in the mirror before I left the house, that got balanced out and tried to be offset. Because what I felt like when people were complimenting me was they were complimenting like an inner beauty. That's what I felt, because I feel so at peace for the most part, even though I've been faced with such incredibly like stressful, out of my control situations that would normally or formerly stress me out very much. Since I've been working on my adrenal system and balancing it back out, I have realized that I got really good at keeping myself out of stress even when I'm in a stressful situation. Like, I surrender, surrender, surrender. I have faith. I trust in God. The universe, the divine order. I pray a lot. My prayers are gratitude. My prayers aren't like putting in an order for what I'd like delivered. I'm thankful for what I have, and I focus that way, and I keep my energy in a space where I I can enjoy my own company most of the time. So I didn't enjoy my own self-judgment of my looks this morning, but there it was. And here we are talking about it. And maybe this energy helped kind of bring that out into my awareness, right? The next thing that I see is I have Hermes conjunct Hermes right now. So my Hermes return. I mean, Hermes, you know. Um, I don't know. I don't think Hermes is what was that? I wonder. I don't think Hermes is necessarily known for um, getting compliments, but maybe. And Hermes is definitely like a deep-seated, ancient, wise, self-assured, helpful, divine being. I mean, I love my Hermes energy. I love it. But so that's there right near my ascendant. So that could be part of it. Um, um, um. Nessus is transiting Pallas Athene, which is kind of weird. Like, Nessus is the asteroid that represents abuse or healing of abuse, and Pallas Athene notices the patterns. Oh, and then we noticed this pattern of my self-deprecation on my looks. Oh. You know, and here's the thing about that. We live out we live out what we are and our energy. So it's not so it really is just a matter of me changing how I think and feel about myself in order for my looks to transform. It will happen. I know that's how it works. Yeah, interesting. Okay. So it's just really highlighting this for me right now. Oh wow. So here I learned a lesson in a very positive, gentle way. And that is because I have made it a point to be in a very positive, gentle energy lately. Hmm. And that's why I say this, like, I felt like it was an inner beauty that they were responding to. But very interesting. I like it. And so then we have the North Node is traveling with Aphrodite in the sky right now. And it's opposing my Pluto. So Pluto is about transformation. And Aphrodite represents beauty, love, money, beauty. And my definition of beauty is being transformed today. So nice. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Okay. Then Hera is transiting on Sirius. Sirius is the divine mother, the unconditional love. And Hera can represent the darker energy of a woman, jealousy, envy, wrath. Hera was also a devoted wife, but she took a lot of shit. She was also vengeful, even towards her husband Zeus and brother. So it's like, oh, Hera energy would have been the part of me that judged my own looks because Hera was so vain. Hera Hera cared about how she was viewed. Oh my gosh, that's what it was. So this morning when I was looking in the bathroom mirror and I didn't like what I saw, that was the Hera energy in me, activating in me. And then it's activated. The reason why I was shown an opposite view today through my experiences was because it was on Cirrus. It was on unconditional love, meaning it's time to unconditionally love the part of me, the Hera part of me, that would judge myself cruelly. Oh my gosh, that would not do myself justice. And Nemesis wants justice. Oh, heart just skipped a beat. Then we have Selene, the white moon goddess, transiting Psyche in my chart. Selene clears karma. Psyche is my actual mind and how my whole kind of thing works. my operating system in my mind. And this is the energy. It's in my fourth house. So here, while I'm at home, this is being released today. After this video, I will be releasing this. Oh my God. How good will it feel to go through life, look in the mirror, and not think anything negative? That just feels great. That feels so good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Then Jupiter, very beneficial planet, increases everything. Jovial, lucky, passionate, bigger picture view, is transiting Selene in my chart. Selene, the white moon goddess. That is not just clearing karma, but clearing a lot of motherfucking karma. Oh, this is the karma of lifetimes. This is the karma of lifetimes. Oh my God. You know what I just flashed and got downloaded with? I purposely incarnated in this body to look like this so that I would have to face this karma. In another lifetime, maybe I incarnated as a version of Hera, who was vengeful and competitive and all about looks and obsessed with it. And this lifetime, this is my last lifetime, by the way. If you haven't been watching, you may not know that, but last lifetime on Earth. So clearing up all kinds of old karmas, not looking to leave anything behind, lingering in my karmic field, like totally gonna wrap everything up, alchemize everything, bring myself to 0 point by the time this is done. I'll be here a while longer though, so I got some time, but this is the energy of clearing lifetimes of karmic pattern of not accepting a wider definition, an undefined view of beauty. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, it feels big as I just tap into it. I'm just like, oh, wow, it's so. I was just thinking about how, sometimes you'll see an animal and it's so ugly, it's cute kind of thing. And, I was holding my grandson earlier today, and he's so cute. He's, he's so cute. And he looks like his older sister. She's so cute. My other grandbaby, I didn't get to see her today, but she's so cute. There is so much beauty. Oh gosh. It's very interesting because I was literally spending time in the grocery store today, passing so many people that looked so all kinds of different ways. And I was thinking about how beautiful it is that we all don't look the same, and how it's interesting that I would even judge their looks. And this is just me at the end of the day going, oh, I learned that I don't want to judge anyone's looks, nor my own. Nor my own. Even if it did come to attraction, I feel like, yes, I want to be fit and healthy, to live a long life with a potential partner that I may meet at some point, and I do want to be attracted to my partner and I want them to be attracted to me, I feel like that chemistry that can happen doesn't necessarily have to do with looks. Like, it's not like I need a trophy to show off and make other people jealous or envious. I need an actual connection with a person who agrees, wants to make some agreements about how we'll be to each other, and just live up to those and grow and learn together and like have some fun. Like, that's all it has to be. But there does have to be a chemistry and attraction, but I just don't think it has to be a certain look because, you know, there's this man from my past who, he's such a gift because he is an ex, and it was from a time before I was awakened, and his name is David. And David is, he was my fiance for a time. We have not seen each other in, oh, I don't know, way more than 10 years at this point. We talked on the phone maybe about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, after my last breakup. He had just happened to have called me. We talked, we caught up, it was nice. And one of the things I told him was how important it was for me to have that relationship with him because he taught me what it was like when a man really, really, really values your pleasure. You know? Because he did. He took pleasure in pleasing probably women in general, but me while we were in the relationship. And the thing about David is he is not conventionally supermodel material or anything. In fact, when I was with him, I believe he had some false teeth and things like that. Like, but even the time when he didn't have his teeth, he he could honestly, I'm just going to use this terminology. He could pull any woman. I don't know how many lovers that man has had, but in the hundreds for sure. He is so fucking charismatic. He has charisma oozing out. It definitely has nothing to do with his looks. But you just feel he's attractive because of the way you feel in his presence. Because of the way he's talking to you and the way you feel and the way he holds himself. And he's intelligent and he's kind and he's smart, but he's also tough. Like, he's been in fights. And he is also kind of reckless, or was back then. And like, you know, because he was like, he used to drink a lot, like a lot. I would, you know, maybe alcoholic, probably likely. Like, there was a time when his liver was like yelling at him and he was turning yellow and all kinds of serious things were happening. So it was serious. I mean, there was some drug dealing at some point, and there was like just, but he also handled business, you know, like I remember he got us an apartment, like he made the phone calls, he just, my point, all this to say, like, he was important for me because he is an example, a living example of chemistry and attraction does not have to be about having supermodel looks or a trophy or, you know, anything like that. It can have absolutely nothing to do with that. So, thank you for that experience. And I hope he is well these days. Okay, so this is something healing in me for that's been with me for lifetimes. Oh my God, It's the thing that caused the Trojan War. It's the thing that Aphrodite was cursed for. Oh my goodness. Oh, how good does it feel to put that down? You're sensitive, you may feel the energy that I'm working through right now. And if you're not, just please respect and take and let me take this moment to like run this through because it's going through my central channel right now. It's like just little did I know I was going to be healing something through looking at my astrology chart. For yesterday's video, I used dream interpretation to heal something. Life is pretty cool, right? Okay. That Hermes activation really has me wanting to sing. The asteroid called Justice, or Justitia, something like that. It represents justice. It just transited my Saturn. It's like I am bringing justice to the concept of beauty. I just felt the energy of someone thinking that I'm full of myself. That's awesome. Um, okay. The next one I got is. Okay, what's this now? Mercury and the Sun and Lilith. Lilith and the Sun are conjunct today. There. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. Lilith's very strong feminine energy, but also she does not take no shit. The Sun shines a light on everything. My Venus and Pluto are conjunct in the 8th house in Libra, where the Sun and Lilith are conjunct, and Mercury is right there too within 3 degrees. So Mercury is on my Venus. So not only is Hermes there, but Mercury is on my Venus. Oh, I gotta write a love song or something. You a love song, 'cause you asked for it. You need it. Um, the Sun is conjunct Pluto for me. The Sun is conjunct my Pluto. This is a deep transformation right now. And it's so much about Libra, beauty, love, Venus, and communicating about that. This is why the compliments came, because this energy is my love, and that's coming from inside me, just riding right below the surface of my skin as I'm going through the day. Yeah. And I had a pretty good day, even where there's usually some stress. It wasn't. It's like I didn't even let it stress. It was really good. And the stressful person wasn't as stressful as they usually are. It's cool. It's like God handles it. Life handles it if you let it. You know, I I also made it a point last night and to put myself in receptive mode. So to lean back into more feminine energy than rather than being in masculine and get it done, go do it. I put myself in more like observer and just like letting the next right step come to me intuitively. Like when it was time to leave the house, like I felt my way into that, you know? I had a leisurely morning. I went through the grocery store leisurely. Everyone I encountered was pleasant. It was quite lovely. So my Venus is transiting in my ninth house, but it's not directly conjunct anything. But it is opposing Hera. Hera, Zeus's wife, Hera, the vengeful one, Hera, the angry one, Hera, the one obsessed with beauty. Hera, the one obsessed with beauty. Oh, so interesting. I mean, like Aphrodite in my chart is conjunct my sun. So I knew Aphrodite would be a theme that I was going to be dealing with in this lifetime. And I just so happened to come to clear some of the old karmic patterns and jealousy and envy that works around beauty. And I did that by deliberately coming in with a non-conventionally conformist, beautiful look. And, you know, I have an Aquarius ascendant, so even when I'm thin, and I don't like how I look when I'm thin because it's too alien-like, and I have very high cheekbones, and if there's no face to fill it out a little bit, I think I look really alien. So so in a way I like fluffiness, but I just didn't like this much. But you see how particular I'm being and how like bratty I'm being about my own looks? It's like that is mean. That's a Hera thing to do. And it's like that's exactly what I'm transforming. And to be honest, there's also this part of me that's like, let's just start exercising. Like, let's do it. I'm ready to work out a bit. Like, I feel that kind of energy. And that, I think, is a direct result of me giving my body the resources it needs to balance out my adrenal system. Because if you watched a couple videos ago, I revealed that I now had understood that I was suffering from an adrenal syndrome type situation. And I started taking the supplements that I need to balance that out. And they have been working. And I have been feeling so much better. But one of the symptoms of having that adrenal syndrome is these rosy cheeks. So that's interesting. And I did have those today. Um, so, you know, maybe that'll go away in a bit. And I don't mind if it does. And if it takes this, that's fine too. But I will know that I can still be beautiful, even if that's not the case. One thing I will say that just came to my mind before I close this out is like when I see people who are doing plastic surgery, you know, celebrities or whatever, if I come across it on a social media feed, I'm so turned off by plastic surgery. I don't like when people use filters. I don't like when they do plastic surgery, but yet I would be willing to get like, you know, false teeth to fill these in. Actually, I think I want to do implants for my teeth, but you know what I'm saying? So like that will be, that's not natural exactly, but Ideally, I'll do stem cells and it would be natural. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll get to do stem cells and it will be all natural. But my point is, like, I have always felt like people's natural look is much more attractive to me. But I think I'm being asked to even open up to the possibility that it's okay for them to do that and still think that they're beautiful. Because, like, there is beauty in everything. There's something beautiful about wanting to improve your looks. There's something beautiful about um, taking a leap of faith, taking a risk. There's something beautiful about wanting to fit in. There's something beautiful about everything. About a scar. I have a scar. Where is it? Wow, you can barely see it right now, but when I press right here, it was from a piercing. Is it here? Wow. I guess it. Oh, you could see it there for a second, maybe? It's from a piercing. Anyway, and also I have an eyebrow scar. Anyway, there's something beautiful about everything. I'm gonna go tap into this energy a little bit more, kind of meditate on beauty and see what else I'm meant to be shown. But I think it's really interesting. Like, really interesting. Um, Especially how life set me up for this, you know? Like, I already had that experience in my distant past with that one guy who was so charismatic that I know looks don't always matter. That they actually only matter when people are operating on a very shallow level. And I'm not saying that I should be able to, like, let myself go and not take care of myself, because that's not attractive necessarily either, because you gotta, like, care for your vessel, right? Like, your vessel is your way to navigate this earth. You need it. And cleanliness, I think there's something to be said for cleanliness. And I think a lack of cleanliness can really detract from beauty. And I'm sure there is something beautiful about it as well, but I don't know what that is. I'm just going to meditate some more and see if there's any real wisdom that I can come up with it. And yeah, from my last video, I said I might do a part two. I don't know that I'm going to, but as an add-on to this video, I'll just say that I did realize after I recorded that video, the last one before this one, where I was doing a dream interpretation to heal something, I realized that my description of myself and how I was navigating with my emotional body was like an avoidant attachment style. And I thought that was interesting because I know myself to have had anxious avoidant attachment style. And I think it was just that the the avoidant part is working to be healed within myself now, and maybe the anxious part I already healed most of that. So I'll have to see what other symptoms are left of my anxious avoidant attachment style. But I thought it was kind of interesting to realize that, oh, I'm literally describing avoidant tendencies, avoidant attachment style. And I had already known that I was anxious and avoidant because I had identified it earlier on when I started, my healing journey. But the anxious side of it was active when I was in relationship. The avoidant side of it came out when I was not in relationship. So very interesting. So it just became hard. Like, whereas before I was so anxious, and the anxious side of it, I would always just be in a relationship, and sometimes I would jump from one to another for at least a period of time in my life. And then now, in the recent times, I've been out of a relationship for like 5 years, and it's been more difficult to get into a position where I could welcome it. So I'm working to do that. All right, I'm going to close this out here. Let me know if you have any thoughts to share or questions. What are your views on beauty? Do you have any strong opinions or thoughts that come to mind when I share? I'd love to hear your point of view. I know.